think it would be cool to live forever? You might not after reading Lindsay Wong's fabulous new collection of stories, Tell Me Pleasant Things About Immortality. She joins us now with more on her dark and very funny take on things. And we were talking before how much of this is kind of Chinese fairy tales, little warning signs of things, of what to be careful about what you wish for.
Yeah, I think I'm always thinking about Chinese mythology, especially when we talk about fox demons. One of my stories has these 9-tailed foxes. And I'm always thinking about, well, you know, in Chinese mythology, they eat people. So what eats people better than sorority girls?
And so they are a sorority.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a warning in some ways.
And that story, yes, because it's these collections of great stories about, you know, things that could happen in real life, but you've taken them on to this fantasy realm of like, in many ways, horrifying, but very, very entertaining. I had the wildest dreams after reading these stories.
I don't know if I'm glad to hear that.
No, you should be glad.
Okay.
Because it's just that imagination, these odd things that you talk about. So one of them has the story of a death lily, which promises immortality.
Yeah, so I was always thinking, there's a myth about the Chinese emperor who sends 13 sons and 13 daughters to find this, you know, elixir of eternal life. And I thought, well, what could be better to live forever than a flower? And so that became the part of the story. And I think it's also a satirical look about, you know, do you want to live forever? Do you want to rot and stay in your body? Or do you want to be a ghost and come back and haunt people? I don't know what I would choose.
Yes, and you go through many avenues in the different stories, because some of the ghosts don't want to be ghosts anymore.
Yeah, some of them are just trapped there. I think for me, I was thinking about, like, what if my mother or my grandmother, you know, my grandmother passed away, but what if my mother died and came back and to haunt me forever? I would not want that. That's a horror story in itself. Like, can you imagine being haunted by your own mother?
Always, and you can't get rid of her.
I know, like, what do you do, right, with a ghost?
Now, a lot of your memoir, The Woo Woo, talked a lot about the mental health aspects of your family. Do you find that some of these stories, you know, the hauntings and the ghosts and the facades that people put on, is that a way that mental health masquerades?
I think so. For my family, we didn't have a word for mental illness, so ghosts were like a way of talking about mental health. And so for me, I always grew up with the idea of, like, ghosts could possess you, they can control of you. And so I always thought, okay, well, you know, the ghosts, they probably want, you know, what people in real life want. You know, they want, you know, vanity, they want to be beautiful forever, they want money, they want to just be like us.
And some of the experiences that you talk about, you were telling me a very, very long walk to a Walmart in Nebraska was the spark of inspiration for another one of the stories.
Yeah, I think I'm always just like drawing on real life. I was in Nebraska City walking on a highway, and it just felt very much like apocalypse because no one was there. And so, you know, these sorts of like feelings and experiences can really turn into a short story for me.
And in short story, kind of, for these stories, the best way of getting these stories out, like if you had to stretch wanting them into a novel, would it have been difficult?
Maybe. I feel very self-contained to me because I wanted to have 13 short stories, because 13 isn't a lucky number, right, for Westerners, and it became really important to hear 13 different voices.
And in a lot of ways too, it kind of tells immigration stories.
Yeah, I really wanted to explore the idea of diaspora and inherited trauma and how we take our pain, you know, how people leave their country, come back here, and then, you know, what do they do with it? They manifest it or they transform it in some way. Like, some people become crows, some people become furniture. I would love to become furniture when I don't want to do something, right? And so that became sort of a metaphor for the whole idea of, you know, how do we take our pain and what do we do with it?
Yes, there's that great story where a father becomes a sofa. And the children find money in the sofa.
Yeah, that's great. Like, what do you do with that? You could sell your father.
It's so many. I so enjoyed this. So thanks very much, Lindsay Wong, the author of Tell Me Pleasant Things About Immortality. It's out now. The book birthday was yesterday. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much.